That's the most people. Welcome, everyone. Hi, everyone, and this is Aideen. I am live here with Lowry Olafson, who is one of the speakers for the Voice and Song Summit Get Unstuck in Business Using Your Voice. And Larry has a completely unique way of helping you get unstuck and manifest what you want in life. And when I came across what Larry did, I was so excited because it's something that's actually not too difficult to use, but it can be absolutely transformative. Um, Larry, tell us a little bit of how you got started doing the work you're doing in using, voice to create change.
Okay, well, what I do is I write power songs with people, and they're basically a personal musical affirmation or a declaration that people use to as part of their routine, just to lift their spirits, to get their vibration at a higher level, to lift themselves out of kind of despair or doubt or worry, those kind of red zone places, into a place where they're more fully present, more fully alive. And of course, there's a few elements that go into that. One, the most important one probably is music and singing, and the fact that we're using our voice to change our vibration. It's very quick. It's you can use it strategically, but
Interesting.
yeah, the process of writing the song together, though, I spend a couple of hours writing. First, I send them the deep dive guide, and I ask them a lot of questions about to get them reflecting on their lives and where they would love to be and what they would dream about, and also to get clear about where they feel stuck. And so we come into the session where they've already given that quite a bit of thought. And so we're looking to write a really short song. When I wrote the first one for myself many years ago, not many years ago, about 4 years ago, and when I was going through a transition, a divorce, and all that kind of stuff, and looking to get my act together, so
Yeah.
to speak. But it was kind of like times of transition are a really great time to write a power song, because you kind of have this blank slate in terms of having, maybe if you've left a job, or you've left a marriage, or you're graduating, or you're moving into a new stage of your life anyway. So it's a really powerful time to reimagine what you want your life to look like. And and so for me, I had a lot of uh, I had a lot of negative expectations of making that kind of a choice, that oh, it's going to be hard now, and this, all this kind of stuff. And so making a declaration, even though it seemed kind of unlikely at the time, but to declare what it was that I wanted, it as if I had it, but to sing it
Isn't it true
was
you were using affirmations and trying to get it into your brain first with just the spoken phrases? Isn't that true?
exactly. Yeah, yeah. Well, and that's, a friend said, well, why don't you do affirmations? And I said, well, because they don't really work. And of course, the reason that the shortcoming of affirmations is that it's basically a negative thought against a positive thought. It's a very equal playing field, very cerebral. It's not a full body thing. It's like I'm a millionaire. I'm a millionaire. No, you're not. You're working at McDonald's, right? And so it creates this conflict and an argument in your brain.
Hmm.
Whereas when I sing, I got a house on the water and someone to love, I laugh and sing. I mean, right away, just, I got a house on the water. It's a very, like, you can't, it's a lot different than going, I got a house on the water. It's very
Yeah,
Eeyore.
gets your whole body involved and it's
Yeah,
fun. I think that one of the key things
exactly.
is it becomes more fun. And what some people may not realize is that when we sing, we use both sides of our brain, whereas when we say something, we only use one side. So
Ah,
it's integrating your left and right side of your brain so that you can connect the dots. It's like, you're firing up more of your brain for creating maybe solutions to that problem that you're having and seeing a future that you're going to create out of nothing and to
mhm.
create something new. So I would say your power songs are a manifestation tool.
Yeah, that's really how how I want them to be. I want how I encourage people. So when we go through when we're writing the song together, I encourage them to really to be clear about or to be generous with themselves in terms of what they're asking for, because a lot of people, it's kind of like, oh well, I'm too old for that now, or I could never do that. And it's like, well, what if you could? If you could have it, what would you actually want, right?
Hmm.
So a lot of us, we need permission to be loved. We need permission to have wealth. We need to give ourselves permission. And there's a lot of obstacles in our brains that would prevent us from doing that.
Yeah. And it's almost like you're drawing that out of the person. So on
Yeah.
their own, they might not come up with a big enough vision. Whereas when you work with people, you're
Yeah.
helping them see a bigger vision and you're also encouraging them to think positively about the future, as well as that giving them permission
Hmm.
to see change ahead because we all get stuck, don't we?
Yes, every day. And like, I think what I find so funny about it is, like, I think the journey to changing your mindset it is a journey. It takes time. And I see how quickly I default to a negative, to doubt or worry or anxiety. And having practices like this, or like gratitude, um, where you just show up completely differently, right? Like a song like "Somewhere Over the Rainbow." It's really hard to be, somewhere over the rainbow. Like, if you had a little melody like that, it wouldn't. It opens your eyes, right? It's like, oh, maybe
So
I
when the
could.
pitch moves, like when you get that lift, it changes your state, really, isn't
Yeah,
it?
exactly. And so then you're breathing, you open your chest, which I think you also open your heart, right? And you open your eyes in a way. Like, what happens with that negative red zone kind of thinking, anxiety and worry and stuff, is that your thinking is very small, and you're kind of a small version of yourself, and you don't see, you just use those words, seeing possibilities. You don't see those possibilities. But
Hmm.
when you do this, it's like, oh, what am I worried about? Like, I've got food in the fridge, you know, I have people that love me, maybe those people don't, but these people do. I have whatever it is, we start to see ourselves differently. And
Yes.
and so this, back to what we were talking about, was like, this is a daily default that we go down to that kind of Eeyore. I always think of Eeyore, in Winnie the
Eeyore
Pooh.
from Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, I don't know, I could never do that. Oh, I'll be fine, don't you? You know what I mean? Like, this kind of cloud of that. So many people just live that way, and I know I do, and
Yeah.
that's my default. And I need tools to, like, come on, let's quickly. How much time am I going to spend here? In this negative space, and how quickly can I get into a more productive space so I can get on and then all of a sudden it's like, well, maybe I could, build a house on the ocean here.
Yeah. So the power song is shifting you from that
Yes.
kind of lower level. Now, for the summit that we're having in May, it's about getting unstuck in business. How do you think a power song applies in business?
Well, that's good timing that you're asking me that, because I'm working with a group. I'm doing a retreat on Friday with a group who are um, they're being trained, or their coaching and their training program is about shifting them into a much higher income bracket and a higher level, taking their businesses to a higher level, so they're not as involved. It's more of a distant relationship with it. They're delegating more. They're doing kind of more like a magician, or a, what do you call it with the marionette?
Puppeteer.
Puppeteer. Thank you. So more of that, and the main obstacle to that, there's a certain amount of information, but the main obstacle is mindset. It's always mindset, because if you're showing up as this version of Lowry or Aideen or whoever, then it's a lot different than this. It's like, oh, excuse me, would you mind? Could you tell me the time? And it's like, hey, what time is it? Like, it's just who you are. It's not like you're not becoming somebody different. You're just stop. It's like, cut it out. Like, quit showing up at 30% of who you are. Yeah, so I think a lot of the tools that there's some really wonderful speakers at this event, and what we all have in common is this idea that our voices are which are the ways that we express ourselves, and that they are tools for us to get into a higher vibration quickly, because that's what manifesting is about. I have a chart here at the different high and level low vibrations. The lowest vibration is shame, followed by guilt, apathy, grief, fear. These are all like really low energy. Shame, and a lot of people, and fear, like these. So, and the highest ones are joy and peace and love, right? So, how do you get, quickly from that, that space to the other? It's like you can. It becomes a habit, you do it, and so you get there quicker.
That's awesome. I like one of the programs that I'm running at the moment is called Unlock the Soul of Your Business, and a big part of that is finding the joy in the business, to kind of, because I think that when you find your happy space and you feel that you want to be doing what you're doing, everything flows so much better. So that would be what I would write my business power song about, is about staying in that joyful space, being happy, attracting the right people on the right vibration to what I want. And for me to express my business, like, a lot of it is, how do I tell people what I do do I have that energy of believing in myself? And so when the power song that we did together was all about, being happy and seeing possibilities, and the more we can be happy and see possibilities, the more we'll say what we do in a different vibration and attract people to us with that newer, kind of higher vibration.
Yeah, and with a lot of the theme songs that I write for businesses and teams and stuff, and sometimes, quite often, we do it as a team building exercise, and I'll write them. Like, I always want to write the song with you, with the person, because I couldn't, I couldn't write the song for them. They could give me a list of all these things, but they need to be in the room, and they have to say, no, this word does not describe me or what I want, or this is exactly the right word. And it's this process of collaboration and group flow and yes and creativity and stuff, where this energy builds. But excuse me, one of the things that I really want people to see when they're with their business is the bigger picture of what they're really doing. I mean, they might excuse me, like, I have this one song I wrote with the group. It's a multi-level marketing company that sells health products and supplements and all that kind of stuff. And their song is we're changing the world one life at a time, and nothing's gonna stop us now. And then, of course, it's the idea, of course, for those groups is they're all about mindset. And so, the verse goes, don't let anybody steal your dreams, because there's no limit to what you can do. Right. And so, and even at singing, there's no limit, is a really, it's, even if you never heard the words, right? Da 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 bam ba da da da. And not everybody needs that kind of a song. Sometimes, I've written with songs with people who are ill, who have illnesses that are serious and stuff, and so for them it may be that they need a music that's calmer and more grounded. And I wrote, what was that one I wrote with? It's, well, one I wrote recently with a woman she's adopted, and she has a group that she leads that to help people kind of recover and stuff. And the song's called "I Am Who I Am, Who I Am." The hunger to know my hunger to know feeds the child inside. I am who I am, who I am. And it goes on, and it has that chant, I am who I am, who I am. And it's a song about identity, right? So
Wow.
everybody has a very, very different need. And like a song and a melody is really, it's a delivery system for a message. So, you know, for Somewhere Over the Rainbow, somewhere over the, that was the song about expansiveness, and then it kind of curls around and it gives you this hug at the, it gives you this hug at the end. But all you need is love. All you need is love. Dot dot dot. It's on one note, right?
Yeah.
What was the delivery system that was required is like, I want everybody on the planet to be able to sing this song, because this is a very simple message. And the other thing is that when you write songs, the words are like, they're grade 5 level words, right? I often will come in with people that are a little cerebral, and they'll have like lots of big words and stuff. And it's like, can we say this in a way that's going to really touch your heart and really just ground you? Right? John Lennon didn't say, what's really required here is more compassion, empathy, and blah, blah. Right? So all
Yes.
you need is love.
Yeah.
Come on, let's say what we mean here. Let's say it,
It
because we
sounds like
need
you're
that.
refining things down then. And of course, for something to sound musical, it's also needed to, what note and what beat and, what word, how it all fits together has an effect on the meaning, actually. So it can be a lot of fun to explore that. And I think the fact that you are collaborative in how you create the song with your clients or with the businesses, that creates then that feeling of we're in this together,
Oh yeah.
and you got your whole energy is behind that then.
Well, the energy, I love the transformation, because especially when I do team building ones, people come in and they're annoyed that they have to be there, and they think they have nothing to contribute, and I can't sing, I'm not going to sing, and all this stuff. And as we gradually start to like use their ideas, and that was a good idea, like, and we vote on things, and it's like, oh, and they're starting to feel like, hey, maybe I do have something to contribute here. And then of course the real key that I think is funny is that they sing a little bit, not very much. Sometimes I'll just get them to sing, how, we're choosing a melody for the title, and it's like "Have a Nice Day," right? And so they might only sing, well, you guys, what do you think? Have a nice day, or have a nice day, or have a nice day. And they'll be willing to sing that tiny little bit. But what happens when they sing, which is what the whole point of your summit is that when people sing, their physiology changes. The stress levels drop, the serotonin or the dopamine, whatever, comes back. The brain chemistry changes. Your body changes when you sing. And this chakra, this throat chakra here, is the thing that blocks everybody. If you can't express all of all the creativity and all the power and all the things that come from the lower chakras, but here, that's the point where it's like a lot of people are just cut off, and they're just from here, and they're writing mission statements, and they're arguing about which big word should be described, and no one can remember them
Yeah.
and frame them. They put them on a wall. But this idea, for me, that's my challenge, and what I work on is try to, where am I blocking myself there and saying, I could never say that, I could never ask for that, I could never voice that.
Amazing. I could never voice that. And coming from that to, I can express it and, create my future with that expression and raise my vibration change my state,
Yeah.
feel better about my life. And from there, it's easier to create change. Well, I can't wait for the summit and for you to do your talk. And I'd love to invite people to register for our summit on the 14th and 15th of May. And Lowry has a special VIP offer as well. And do you want to tell people about your VIP offer that you're doing? So it's free to register. So everyone understands, it's free to register to come live to the event. And if you'd like to have the recordings of the presenters and would like to attend the panel discussion with the presenters and get the free gift from the presenters, we have a VIP offer. So maybe you'd like to tell everybody about that before we finish up.
Yeah, well, I think, yes, the fact that the whole weekend is free is amazing because there's lots of great presenters. One that I wanted to mention because I'm definitely going to this one is now I've forgotten her name. The woman that teaches that you can actually find your own notes.
Oh, Molly Adkins.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
She finds
like
your
to me, it's
personal
like,
musical scale.
yeah, your personal musical scale. So that's pretty interesting to me. But so my offer for the VIPs, and I believe it's only $29. Is that right? For the Yeah. So it's super affordable, and all of the other speakers are also giving gifts. But mine is the first steps of the Power Song process. I will give you access to the deep dive guide, and you'll be able to work through that, and then we'll have a free 20-minute session together that would get you started on the steps towards creating your very own personal power song. Yeah.
I'm so excited for anyone that gets to do that with you, Lowry, because your energy is infectious, I have to say. You are bringing joy to the world. You've changed so much in the last 4 years. You've done so much with your own life. You genuinely inspire me. And every time I talk to you, you sing a little bit of someone else's power songs. So I really feel like you've got like so many of those power songs now that you remember and you
I
know.
know.
It's like, I want to hear all of them because there's an
Yeah.
energy comes from those songs. I can feel a vibration, and I can feel that that it has had an energetic shift for the people you've been writing with. And I hope you realize how profound the work you're doing is and how transformative it can be, because to me, what you're doing is magic.
Thanks so much, Aideen. I love being associated with you and with somebody that recognizes well all the presenters and all the people that are and they're from all over the world. I mean, Brazil and England and everywhere. And we're all people who recognize the power of the voice, right? And the voice is like it's the one thing you've always got. Right, it's there 24/7. You can be anywhere, and you've got your voice. And the other, it's just such a tool that people just don't use music, and they don't use their voices, and they just don't know. So
Yeah.
this is going to be pretty enlightening for a lot of people, including me.
I'm so excited. So thank you so much for coming on Facebook Live today. Thank you to anybody who's listened. And I will put the link for the session, the summit, into the comments below this Facebook Live. And we would love to see you there. And yeah, give us, if anyone needs help logging in or registering, just get in touch, and definitely follow Lowry. His Facebook page is Lowry Olafson, so
AFOLAFSON. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, and
Sorry.
you can check out PowerSongs.ca. It's just like it sounds, PowerSongs.ca, if people want to check out my website.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank
Thanks
you
so
so
much
much.
for doing this.
You're welcome. Thank you, and thanks everyone.